At last, tomorrow is the last day with the English writing. After all this hard work and after all these writings and homework and discussions, it's time to say that, okay, we are ready for the exam. I'd like to draw your attention to something really important, which is the thing that will make you score your expected score tomorrow is paying attention and more attention. It is essential and very important to focus on everything you do in the writing test. You went to Oxford, and as I always say, Oxford is dangerous because usually the curve is high. So the slightest mistake may result in a loss of marks, and also it can result in any kind of unexpected deduction for your mark. Now, we will go together over the basics of writing first before we go to the questions and the criteria and so on. Please open your eyes carefully from the very beginning. Okay. Now, writing basics. Please, when we write words, and then we put words together to make sentences. We put sentences together to make paragraphs, and then the composition. We make the article, the blog, the whatever. Okay. Now, let's go to the words. Please, when you write any word, make sure that you write it correctly spelled. The spelling must be correct. And it's very important to do that. If you are not sure of the spelling, don't write it. If you are not sure it's E or A, don't try to make it something in between, thinking that you can deceive the teacher. No mercy there. You will write correct spelling 100% and clear, you will get the mark. Not, you will not get the mark. Simply and clear cut. Usage, make sure, or the semantic of the language, make sure that you are using the word in its right place. Okay? You are not using the word in the wrong place. The meaning is correct. The meaning is for what you need. Okay? Now, accuracy and clarity. In every step today, I keep saying accuracy and the clarity, accuracy and the clarity. Why? Because if anything is not accurate, you will be punished. If anything is not clear for the teacher, he will not give you the mark. He will take marks out. Okay? So accuracy and the clarity, accuracy and the clarity. He will never say, the students are stressed today, it's the test day, and I'm sure that it's ing. Everyone will write it with ing, but you forgot the G. There are thousands of students who write it correctly. Do you think it's fair that the examiner or the teacher who marks your paper gives you the same mark like someone who didn't make a mistake? Of course not. So please be accurate. Don't say the teacher will understand. The teachers don't understand when they mark your paper. They look for you to make them understand. Quickly, afterwards, we make sentences. Please, punctuation, punctuation, punctuation. The biggest problem. And I always say punctuation sometimes, not sometimes, always, more dangerous than spelling. It can never be the right thing that you start or you write your heading or topic or you start the sentence without a capital letter. ما ينفعش. And you leave the paragraph without a full stop at the end. It's a crime. You are punishing yourself. You are destroying your mark. So please. And I'll come to some critical points that I see most of the time in my students' work. And I always keep warning them. Please, today is your last chance to be alert, to focus, and you go to excel tomorrow in the exam. Punctuation. After punctuation, what else we do? We will go to the structure. Use the grammar you have studied. Use the grammar you have studied. Use if, use moreover, use passive, use the past tenses, the future tenses. Use the right structure. Now we come to what? Yes, try to make some simple sentences, some compound sentences like and, both, and, neither, nor, either, or. Use these sentences, it will take your mark high. And the complex sentence, use after, before, although, unless, this, if, this will give you marks. Okay, again, I'll say what? Accuracy and clarity. If you are not sure that this is the grammar, the grammatical structure you should use, don't use it. And focus on your work to get the marks correctly. After we write the sentences, we put them together in paragraphs. And the paragraph must be as I will explain now. Any paragraph, except the introduction, if you like to say, it may be the exception. Every paragraph must start with a transitional word. Use, however, moreover, initially, first and foremost, first of all, any expression that will help you to go. No paragraph without transitional word, because you will be punished for this. After this, you have a topic sentence. This paragraph is about what? You say, the movie was amazing. Explain what you mean by saying amazing. Why it was amazing, the acting, the special effects, the so on. Okay, so we have topic sentence and supporting details. Don't list when you write. Don't list. You said that the movie was long. Explain. Say, as it took us about 2 hours and 30 minutes. And still I say, no one goes to check if what you said is true or false. ما حدش يروح يتأكد المعلومة دي صح ولا غلط. No problem. Go. Write what you believe is good language. We are not looking for facts. طيب, if he wants you to write about a movie, make up a name of a movie. If you remember a movie that you really watched and enjoyed, it's better, of course. And you can write about that. And when you have an authentic experience, use it and change some details to make it more interesting. That's nice. But if you don't have any experience to rely on, make up. ما عندكش موفي اتفرجت عليها، ما عندكش متحف زرته، ما عندكش كتاب قريته، اتكلم عن المتحف على انه موفي، يعني دخل حاجات مناسبه. بس خليك دايما لوجيك. يعني انا شخص for example I love football. I know nothing about movies. Okay, and he wants me to write a blog or an article about football or any about a movie. I say I watched a movie about football and I try to change things to fit or to tell the story of the movie, which is actually a story of a game. Okay, so I do something like that, but be careful. Yani, it can't be a movie and you speak about a football game. This will never, you will take 0. But you can make the movie speaking about football or basketball or whatever. Okay, be careful about this. You should never write about something you are not asked to write about. This is the only way that you may take 0. اكتب عن موضوع غير اللي طلبه مني الدرجة 0. طيب, قلنا he will ask you to write about a movie you don't know anything about movies. Make up a movie. If you like animals, say it's a movie about a horse and tell a story of a horse. If you like football, speak about a story of a movie that speaks about football. Okay? Now, I always say supporting details are important. Okay, what supporting details you are talking about, teacher? I'm speaking about examples, explanations, say why, when, how. This will give you the supporting details. And again, accuracy and clarity. It is a must in any writing that should take a good mark. After the paragraph, we have the composition. And we know very well in Oxford, we have the 4 questions. The first question, you may be asked, you may write just a paragraph. But in the other ones, you will write more than one paragraph. So when we come to the composition, any composition, even the one paragraph, has a conclusion that can be one sentence. Like if it is an essay on or article or a blog or a letter, the introduction will be longer than this. Can be one paragraph, one short paragraph. And be careful with the word short. In Oxford, I must be short in everything. I must stick to the word count. Okay? Now, after the introduction, we have body. It can be one paragraph or two, depends. But in Oxford, again, maximum 2 body paragraphs. The conclusion, and each one of the body paragraphs, don't forget the transitional words. In the conclusion, don't forget the transitional words for the conclusion. You can say, to sum it up, in conclusion, all in all, after, with all this being said, okay, all these can be good transitional words to start a conclusion with. Okay, let's now go to the last thing. Again, Mr. Sameh repeats, accuracy and clarity. This is a must to get the good mark. Type. Don't go to the writing, please. If you will make these mistakes, please don't start your writing. Remember them very well, and please don't do them in your exam. These are bugs that can destroy the whole thing. Look at this. You write I, which is an English word, as a lowercase. Wherever you write it, it should never be lowercase. It must be capitalized all the time. Look at this sentence. After the opening ceremony, I started my homework. What? This, regardless of the meaning of the sentence. Okay, I speak about the word I. How come you write it like this? You are asking the teacher who marks your paper to knock you down. He will never say, maybe he's in a hurry, he's stressed. No, this is a major mistake. This is a major mistake that destroys the marks. And still I see it in some papers, or some, to be fair, some very few papers of the students. Be careful. It's wrong to write this way. What is the right thing? Here it is. It must be capital all the time. Another bug, another major mistake that destroyed the whole thing is, it should be clear in everyone's mind, it's for possession, while it's with apostrophe, it is. And still people make mistakes with these two words. They confuse them. Please be careful. Look, it's clear that Kit lost its value. Okay. Now, this is completely wrong. I need here, it is. So I should use the one with the apostrophe. And here, its value, possession. No apostrophe. حاجة بتملك حاجة، ما فيش أبدا apostrophe هنا. ما ينفعش it is value. It is valuable. It's حاجة تانية خالص. So this one is wrong. And the right one is here. Be careful. And the most dangerous one is I. Again, please remember it. Please remember it. Don't say, yeah, I always wrote it like this and my teacher never said no. Blah. You will be punished if you write I lowercase and if you mix these things. Why these ones are killing in the exam? Because they are expected to be fine since maybe year 2 at school. Okay, so they are basics for the language. The next thing, how many times you mix these two words? And you know what? The very disappointing thing, when you see the student writing it one time correct and the other time wrong. Maybe the boy or the girl are not sure what to do. So after choosing one of them, he says, maybe it's wrong, I'll go to the other one. But please remember very well, there, THERE is for places. There are many books on the chair. They live there in the new house. But when I say their new house, Possession, ملكية, THEIR. There, the second one. The first one is for place. Please. طيب, what if you make the mistake because you were not careful enough? Blame yourself. Blame yourself. Remember them carefully. Take them as notes now while you are listening to me. Take them as notes and don't make these mistakes again. Okay? The first one, they left their books, of course, can never be right, over there. The two things, you need to swap them. It's wrong, and this is the right thing. They left their books over there. Now it's right. Okay? Do you think you do this mistake or you make this mistake? Do you make this mistake? Please, if you do it, open your eyes wide tomorrow in the exam and don't make this mistake, please. I can't believe that some people still use capital letters after the comma. After the comma, many students still use capital letters, and this must be punished. It can't be forgiven. No, they will never forgive you for that. Never use capital letter after a comma. Because we studied hard, we will get high marks. What? What is this way? It's wrong. And the right one is like this. All these things are very essential. One mistake of this is enough to cost you a lot tomorrow. So please try to avoid these mistakes. I is always capitalized. It's and it's, the one without apostrophe is for possession, and it comes before the nouns. It's cap, it's cover, it's color. But the one with the apostrophe, it is fine, it is expensive, and it's, the pronunciation is the same, by the way, the same pronunciation, نفس النطق بالظبط، مفيش فرق. حتى هنا there and there, the same. طيب, now let's go closer to writing tomorrow. Tomorrow on writing, please remember one very important thing. Study the question. Study the question. Don't just read it and go. It's very important to study the question. Read the question carefully before thinking, for going to the answer. Still, you will not hold your pen and start. Please take your time. Think and plan. What will you write about? And here, please be careful. You went to Oxford because you wanted to write less than Cambridge. Most of the students did that. Okay? Don't go to Oxford and write the word count expected for Cambridge. They ask you for 50 words, you write 90. They ask you to write 70, you write 110. No, please don't do this. Why? In Oxford, the teachers who mark your papers are asked to read everything. Every word, even if after the word count. He will read every word you have written. But they can't forgive any mistakes. Tell you, teacher, I wrote the first 70 words right, and the word count maximum 70, but you added. And for me, even as Mr. Sameth, if I write 70 words and then write 140 words, which one is expected or is more likely to have more mistakes? The longer one or the shorter one? Save your time to produce quality writing. وفروا وقتكم. ركزوا في اللي بتكتبوه. مش محتاج اكتب كتير، انا محتاج ابقى مركز وعامل هاي كواليتي في الرايتنج. والهاي كواليتي هنعرف هنجيبها ازاي. بس نركز جدا، نقرا السؤال كويس جدا، نفكر ونخطط كويس جدا، مش اي كلام بيتكتب، لا، كل كلمه بتجيب درجه. طيب. Next, write. After you read and you think and you plan, hold your pen and start writing. And this is the easiest thing. Once you know what you will write about, it will be easy. Okay. And then after this, I'll say what I'll say. Check your work. Don't leave it and go. Revise, proofread, and edit. What should I revise for, ya teacher? أنا كتبت كل حاجة. Number one, make sure that the bullet points in the question are all covered. Don't leave any bullet point not answered or not spoken about clearly and accurately, and expect yourself to take the full mark in content. You know that mark is content and language. Please make sure of that. Proofread. And the most important thing, please, again, punctuation. After punctuation, remember to do what? Vocabulary. If you wrote nice, take nice away and write splendid. If you wrote very, take very away and write extremely, significantly, essentially. The grammar. Check that you have used the right tense. The sentence doesn't have time. Why you say I went? Say I have been, because time is not given. So you are writing the right thing. And after all, never risk writing the word you are not sure of its spelling. Change everything. But don't write any word you are not sure of its spelling. Okay. When we speak about word count, even the word I is a word. The word a is a word. An is a word. Teacher, it's one letter. It's a word. Okay? Try to produce high quality writing. Don't think that writing more will make them say, oh, he or she made some mistakes, but she wrote 120 instead of 70. They will never do that. I have been there and I know the things or the trend, how it goes there. Don't. You write more, fine. You make more mistakes, not fine. You will be punished. Okay, so please focus on that. Now, let's go to Oxford Writing question 1. Question 1. Of course, you all remember question 1. Question 1, the question about the picture in the paper. Let's go. First of all, the question comes like this. Look closely at the, one second, please. Look closely at this photograph from, describe what you, from a magazine or a book or whatever, describe what you see in that photograph. Okay, and the answer you are expected to describe. When I describe something, 2 tenses are enough. I can speak about the present simple and the present progressive or continuous. I say people are walking down the street, or I say the trees stand high on the platforms. Okay. So let's look at this. This is what? The marking. Question 1, excellent. How many marks? 9. 6 for content and communication. Okay, fine. And 3 marks for the language. I'll do my best to produce everything as its most or the highest quality I can give. I care for every small detail. I am there to get a full mark. Can people get full marks in writing? Yes. Like writing in Arabic. Okay, because we have criteria. You do the criteria, خلاص, you get the mark. You follow the criteria, you get the mark. Okay. The second thing here, the maximum is 9 marks for what? 30 to 50 words. The teacher, if I wrote 30, can I get the full mark? Yes, but not very likely. The teacher, if I wrote 50, and there is one sentence that I can add, I'm sure of its spelling, I'm sure of its grammar, I'm sure of everything, the punctuation and everything. Should I do it? Yes, do it. If you have this one and it will make it instead of 50, 60, but you are 100% sure that everything is fine with this sentence, write it. If you suspect or doubt only any mistake in it, don't do it. لو متأكدين ان الحاجة صح مليون في المية هنكتبها. فيها خطأ مش هتتكتب. ما ينفعش. طيب. Now, this is one of the pictures that was in Oxford, the past papers, and you must have seen it. Everyone will describe it his own way. But before I write, I can put some words. I said, look at the picture, study it. Okay, look at the picture. What is there? We have green mountains. We have sea. We have something like a town or a city in between these, between the mountains. Okay, there is something like a resort on the beach. Okay, how can I describe this picture? Think. You can say the green mountains or the splendid green mountains. It's such a picturesque image. Okay, the splendid sea, the scattered sea boats on the right hand of the picture. Please don't go and keep saying, I see, because he told you. Okay, I know very well, wallahi, I know. What you see in the photograph. من 50 كلمة 5 مرات. In the photograph, I can see 6 words. تكتبهم لي كم مرة؟ مش هتاخد عليهم درجات. طيب افضل ان انا ابعد جدا عن الكويشن واقول ده photograph, and better even here to say the picture presented here offers a splendid image of the nature, and go and write whatever you want. There are many things you can say. Please don't go and say there are trees on the mountains, there are boats in the sea, there are houses on the beach, there is. This is poor English and will result in poor mark. But what may I say? I'll tell you. Another picture, this one. Okay, what will I say about this picture, teacher? Please remember the picture, please. And let's look together at this. We have a student answer here. And actually, let me know what you think of this writing. He said, this was Ammar, the picture presented here depicts such an amazing, peaceful street. Amazing, peaceful street. Okay, why not? He sees it as an amazing, peaceful street. Nice. The architectural style of the mosque is really impressive. This language is not an easy language. He's describing the architectural style. All of you know architecture. Use it in your writing. استخدموا الفوكاب اللي درستوه. انتوا international students عندكم فوكاب عالي وحافظين كلمات كتير، استخدموها عشان تاخدوا بيها درجات. طيب. Due to the shops, tables and chairs on the sides of the picture, I believe that it is a developing country. I like the sentence. I don't know about you. By the way, this is not the best ever you can do and write much better than this. It is summer as people are wearing light short-sleeved t-shirt. Not even one time I can see. Not even one time there is, there are, there is, there are. And that's what makes your writing different. And that's what makes your mark go high. So please take your time, think, and write down. Okay. Now we move to the second writing question. Okay. What is there in the second writing question? As usual, the normal thing here is the question, the letter writing. What if tomorrow he said, write an email? No problem. The letter is an email and the email is a letter. It's not a big deal. But please be careful when you read the question about the letter to see if it is a formal email or letter or informal. This is important. Right? Formal or informal is important to know. What will make me write informal if I'm writing to a friend? Okay. Formal or semi-formal, and don't bother thinking what is the difference between formal and semi-formal. ببساطة خالص formal ما تعمليش أي اختصارات. ما تكتبليش isn't، اكتب is not بس. كفاية قوي، مش عايز أكتر من كده. اتكلمنا كتير في الموضوع، شرحناه كتير، بس دلوقتي بكرة خلاص أنت عايز أقرب حاجة don't use contractions. مش عايزين أي اختصارات. اوكي. طبعا using the internet language is horrible. lol, mg, asap, no, this is not acceptable at all. These are not counted as words. They are counted as spelling and structure mistakes, and will result that your sentence is a fragment. Big problem using the texting language. Please don't. And don't forget yourself tomorrow. Be aware of everything. Right. The most important thing in question 2, when we write the email or the letter, it says what? For this question, there are 3. Can you see this word? Compulsory. You must discuss the 3 bullet points. You must cover them all, one by one. Must I follow the same order, teacher? No. But make sure that they are there. All of them are there and clearly answered. Not in a hidden way, not implied. No. Answer everyone clearly. Okay? Now, 6 marks for content and 6 marks for language, 70 words. Teacher, 70 words for a letter is too short. No, it's not too short. You can write something good in 70 words, maximum 80. But please make your email look like an email. I'm tired of this. I say to people, please write, dear Lauren, comma, and start on the next line. Okay. Someone come and say, dear, comma, Lauren. Nah, it's not English. And all the 3 emails you can see here, you can see love, Gail, or here something, and James, and okay, the other one, the third one, best wishes, and Lauren. They are all on the right or on the left or in the middle. The standard thing is to write on the left. Your signature is on the left, not in the middle, not on the right. Type teacher, my teacher says it's no problem. Okay. Now I say it is a kind of formality for your writing. It shows your teacher that you care. Why? If check your book today, any email or letter, you will find the signature on the left. Okay. And again, remember, is it formal or informal? And we will go on this. Make it look like this. Make it look like that. Okay, let's go. Now, what are the parts of a letter? Or what should be there in the letter? Now I'll tell you. Are you writing a friendly letter or a formal letter? Informal letter or a formal letter? Okay. The friendly one, you have salutation. And the other one, the formal, we have salutation as well. And please don't mix them. Please be careful. When I speak about salutation to a friend, oh, dear Ahmed, dear Omar, dear whatever, hey, hi, okay, anything. But remember to put his or her first name and then the comma. And remember to write his or her name with a capital letter. And remember, please, 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 to write dear with a capital letter. وفي حد ما بيعملش كده يا تيتشر؟ اه والله بنشوف كده. طيب. Salutation for the formal letter. طيب, you are writing a letter to the school parents. You are writing a letter to your the students in your school. When I write a letter to the students in my school, they are not my friends. Be careful. And you can't say dear students. No. The one who says dear students is the teacher or the principal. You say dear colleagues, dear fellow students. If you write to someone you don't know, dear sir or madam. If you are writing to the parents, dear parents. If I'm writing to your friends, here it is. Both, of course, have introduction, body, conclusion, and I'll hint this. Then we have the signature. Why people forget the signature? Okay. Okay. Type. People write quickly and they just forget the signature. Signature is part of the letter. If you don't put it, you lose marks. There is a mark for the signature, a mark for the salutation, a mark for the body, a mark for every one of the bullet points, and a mark for the level of grammar, and everything is, yani, what makes your marks take this long time? Writing. Checking writing takes a lot of time from anywhere. For yani, whoever the teacher is, it takes time to mark the writing. Time. After I'll come to this. Okay. Signature for a friend, you will use any of these. Love with love, lots of love, best regards, yours, your friend, your best friend, all this go. But if you are writing to someone at distance, you are writing to your friends, sorry, to your colleagues, students in your school, say yours sincerely. If you are writing to someone you don't know, parents, for example, you can say yours faithfully. طب لو كتبت faithfully في الاثنين او sincerely في الاثنين صح وهتاخد الدرجه، بس افتكر كلمه yours اولها كابيتال واي وفي كوما بعد sincerely، ويا ريت ما ننساش الحاجات دي. the slightest thing counts. اتفه الاخطاء بتتحسب. اتفه الاخطاء بتتحسب. وخدوا بالكم الطلاب اللي راحوا عملوا اوكسفورد مش الطلاب الضعاف، ده هم طلبه شاطرين جدا جدا جدا، بس عايز يبقى يعني مقفل الرايتنج كمان. فالكومبيتيشن عاليه جدا جدا. خليك صاحي كويس جدا وفكر في كل حرف وانت بتكتبه. كتير من الولاد لما اجي اشوف ده خطا وده خطا وده خطا، لا يا تيشر والله انا ما اعرفش ازاي كتبتها، انا عارف ان دي المفروض كده، انا عارف ان هنا مش المفروض احط فول ستوب. طب ليه نعمل الخطا ده؟ يعني if you have practiced enough this will save you tomorrow. If you haven't practiced enough be alert tomorrow. Be very careful about everything. طيب. Now, some example of effective introductions for informal letters. You can say, how are things? It has been ages since we last talked. I thought I'd share with you once in a lifetime experience I had yesterday, or any of the ones you see here. Okay? Anyone you like, take it. Anyone you like, you can take it. Okay? And practice it and write it. If you have one that you love and you used it throughout the year and you always use it, keep to it. Don't change now. Okay? Right. Now, this is just an example for the introduction. And there is a very important question. Someone asks here, says, teacher, should I leave 3 or 5 letter space at the beginning of the paragraph? Okay. If I go back to the pictures of the emails you have seen, you will see, and yani, it deserves that I go back and you see. So please excuse me for, but it's very far actually. Type. I'll show it later. It's one of two things. You can leave 5 letter space at the beginning of each paragraph, or right from the very beginning, but leave a line between each 2 paragraphs. So when I look,